So my whole goal of this podcast is to get Nate canceled. Jack, what?
Say that your life was in shambles.
My life was pretty close to being in shambles at that point. With college dropouts. Yeah. Let's go, baby.
Now look at us. I had just led promises and the Mav account had slid up. Then I get a text from two people whose numbers I don't have, and we want to invite you to come be with us. And the night before I was going to leave to Atlanta, basically welcome the Mav. You know, the first time I ever had a panic attack was when the best opportunity of my life to that point had presented itself. The first time I ever listened to Goodbye Yesterday, I sobbed my eyes out.
This doesn't end with música. Like, música was just the beginning of this. God has a purpose for Latin America. Also, let's just start right here. Tattoos are not a sin. People have called me a devil worshiper. People have called me a servant of the Antichrist. I was so discouraged when I got that budget back because I was like, God, I know I'm not crazy. Like, I know what you showed me and I know what you told me to do, but I don't know how we're gonna do it.
Are you single? All right, welcome to another episode of Never Had a Bad Day. There's a hair on my mic right now.
Sorry.
What in the world? Whose hair is that, dude? It's so long.
I don't know.
All right.
Cut that out.
Anyway. Welcome to another episode of Never Had a Bad Day. My name is JT Smith, and today is a very special episode because not only do we have a recording artist on the pod today, but he happens to be my best friend, my brother, Mr. Nate Diaz. How are you, sir?
Bro, I'm good, man.
Man, we used to do podcasts together, but now I'm interviewing you and crap.
Nah, bro, I never changed, man. We got to get through this.
I know.
I love you, bro. I'm excited to be here. You know I get cozy during podcasts.
Oh, yeah. Hold on to that pillow. Do what you got to do. Oh, yeah. Are you still in frame over there? Can you see?
That's what I'm making sure.
All right. Make sure we're not cutting off your hair or anything like that.
You're right.
All right. There we go. You're comfy? You feel good?
I feel good.
Okay, good. This feels like we're in Charlotte, North Carolina right now. We're on our couch in our apartment. If you guys didn't know, we're roommates, so we spend a lot of time together.
Yeah, a
lot of time on this couch right here watching a lot of movies. Have you seen any good movies that you've liked recently?
I just watched Happy Gilmore 2 yesterday.
Yeah.
We talked about this. Happy Gilmore 2 is so good.
What do you think? It was good? You liked it?
I liked it a lot. I'm a huge 90s Adam Sandler guy.
Yeah.
So I really liked it. And then some of my favorite actors were in it too.
Yeah.
So.
Well, who you can say.
No.
All right. We'll keep it. My goal of this episode of the podcast is to make sure
gain down.
Yeah, we can turn the gain down. That's fine.
Sorry, I'm also the audio tech.
Yeah. He's
right.
a multifaceted, multi-talent. Oh, you can't hear me anymore. There we go. That's good, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah. So my whole goal of this podcast is to get Nate canceled by the end.
You almost got me within the first.
Yeah. And that was subtle too, wasn't it? That was good.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, all right. Well, I don't want to bore you guys, but I do want you guys to. I have the honor and privilege of getting to be very close with Nate. Like I said, he's a brother to me. Dude, can they hear me or not? I think I'm good. Are you good?
I'm good.
Oh yeah, you're great. I'm a little hot, or no? I'm not cutting any of this, bro.
No, bro. Hold on, gang. All right, go.
Jack, what? I think I'm good, bro.
I know. I'm just afraid because you be laughing and.
I know. I be laughing. People, that's kind of a trauma point for me. People back in high school used to say I laugh like a dolphin.
Holy crap. You're from Florida though, so
yeah, that
y'all be
making
fish jokes.
Oh, we got to get in one of your bits too on this thing. But anyway,
it might happen.
It might happen naturally. But anyway, Nate's a brother to me, and we spend a lot of time together, and he's so incredible, and you guys get to see maybe like 10% of his life. And so I really want to just chop it up and let people get to know you from what they see on, songs, social media, leading on platform, and get to see what a great guy you are, what a funny guy you are, and get to know you a little bit. So I want to start back in the day. But a lot of people probably don't know where you're from. And I love when people ask you where you're from. Well, just go ahead. Where are you from? Where were you born?
Hey, man, I'm from Delaware.
Yes, sir.
Wilmington, Delaware, 302.
Yeah.
Bet you guys didn't know that. Yeah, I'm from Wilmington, Delaware, born and raised my whole life.
Crazy.
I never left.
And you're the first person I've ever met from Delaware. And
Me too.
Yeah, and the only other people I've met are your parents, your family,
Yeah.
a couple of your friends from back home.
It's true.
Your barber.
True. Shout out Chin.
Shout out Chin, man.
Chin the barber, man.
If you guys are in Charlotte, hit him up.
Thanks.
But I want to know just like what was like your journey to the Lord? What kind of scenario did you grow up in?
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
I grew up in a super small Puerto Rican Pentecostal church. There's a lot of Puerto Ricans in the Northeast.
Mm-hmm.
So my grandfather got saved. He actually got saved in New Jersey. He didn't even get saved in Puerto Rico.
Oh, wow.
Got saved in New Jersey. Moved back to Puerto Rico for a little bit. Met my grandmother, the whole thing. So I was born into a Christian home. It was just a super legalistic view of the gospel, but it was like a tiny church on the worst block in the city. So that's kind of like how I grew up. My grandfather was a pastor. My dad played drums, so I grew up like playing instruments. My mom sang. So in a musical family, my whole life, born and raised Wilmington, Delaware. I didn't give my life to Jesus till I was 17. So it was a big part of my family's testimony is that we experienced so much family trauma that like my whole family almost split up in 2017. And so I had experienced God. I had encountered the Lord. I knew that he was calling me home, but I didn't have like that come to Jesus moment till I was 17. And it wasn't like at a conference or anything. It was in my room. And I was like thinking about running away. I was contemplating suicide. It was a whole thing. So at 17, I gave my life to Jesus, even though I had been, raised in the gospel. But it just happens when it gets like real to you. So that didn't happen until, it hasn't even been 10 years.
That's crazy. I've actually never even thought about that. I've heard this story so many times, but
that was in 2017.
I never even thought how not that long ago it was. That's crazy. So what was your experience like after you kind of like gave your life to the Lord? What did that look like?
Yeah, I was entering my junior year. I'm sorry, I keep looking at this. I was entering my junior year in high school, and I remember where I'm from, you either are like really Christian or you're not. And so it was like tough. I went from like having a ton of friends to like having no friends. I was like really rejected. I was weird. People were threatening me. People were trying to beat me up. It was like, yo, you being mad weird. Like,
yeah,
why are you being like this?
Because you're still like you're having this experience, and then you're going back to the same kind of like people that you were rocking with.
100%, bro. And a lot of if you guys know me, I don't come from like the best family or the best situation. The fact that I'm alive is a miracle. The fact that my parents sheltered me from so much, and my grandmother prayed so much, and I wasn't always the best kid, but thank the Lord for his grace and mercy. So I was just like you're saying, I was going back to, I had this encounter over the summer, but the school year starts and I'm back with everyone that's like, yo, where have you been type. So it was beautiful. I ended up starting like some prayer club. God set me on fire, bro, and I couldn't ignore it. Like it was like actually 0 to 100. It was like the fire of God fell upon my life and I couldn't hide it. Like I remember, bro, I don't even think you know this. I have like videos of like me sobbing in the bathroom. Like I'll be in class and God would start speaking to me and I would go to the bathroom and just cry, and I would read my Bible, like literally sitting in the bathroom pinned up against the wall, just like overwhelmed by the presence of God. Wow. At like the age of 17, because like my family was going through it. I thought my parents were going to get a divorce. I didn't know what to tell my younger sister at the time, because she's young, she's seeing all this stuff. I'm still in high school. I just like had gone through so much, and God just kept meeting me. And it was smooth up until, my life was like that, smooth up until I left college. The Lord restored my family and all that stuff, and even I got to lead some friends to the Lord. But then I left for college. I went to Liberty University. Shout out Lynchburg, Virginia.
Shout out Liberty. What
Shout
is
out.
it? The Flames? Go Flames.
Fan the Flames.
Fan the Flames, baby.
Fan the Flames.
Okay, so you got saved 17, and so you go to Liberty, and was that kind of like something you sought out, or like how did that come about?
Nah, bro. I wanted to stay in Delaware. I love sports, and so that's all I really did was music. My whole life, I was obsessed with music and obsessed with ball. So I played a lot of basketball. I'm trash now. But I was that one kid, you know that one kid that always gets hurt playing sports?
Yeah.
Like, he's kind of nice, but it's like, bro, why you always, like, got an ankle wrap on? And
Right.
I was that kid. So I ended up going to so much physical therapy that I stopped playing sports because I couldn't for 2 years because of all my injuries. And I ended up wanting to study physical therapy. I wanted to stay home, so I did not seek out anything other than University of Delaware's physical therapy program. My parents had just planted a church, so I was like, I'm trying to stay here. But I heard God speak to me through one of my teachers, and she was like, just like put at least one Christian thing on the list. And we had no Christian teachers in my school except for like 3. But I went to like a liberal arts, like art school for real. So like being Christian there really wasn't that popular already. So the fact that someone told me to apply to a Christian school is a miracle.
It's crazy.
In and of itself. And I applied to Liberty. And I literally visited just to like knock it off of like, I visited a Christian school, had an encounter with the Lord, and I enrolled that day, even though I couldn't afford it with my parents, because God also spoke to them while I was there.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So you get to Liberty, and how much at this point are you singing? Are you leading worship at your church? Like,
yeah. So I got to Liberty fall of 2018. And I was just, bro, low-key, fall of 2019. And I was just chilling. I was not on any worship team. I was just, like, I didn't ever think that what I'm doing right now would be possible. So I was just serving on Sundays at the Ramp. Shout out my family at the Ramp International in Lynchburg, Virginia, Bishop Younger. That was my home church. Then I went to Hope Co. Shout out Pastor PJ in Lynchburg. But I was not doing any of this until 2020. 2020, I feel like everyone's life changed because of COVID. And 2020, my life kind of got flipped upside down.
Gotcha. So are you on the collective at this point, like leading worship, or no?
Crazy. I forgot about that. So it was a miracle. So Liberty had this worship team, like you said, it was called the Collective.
You can explain that.
No, yeah, Liberty had like a campus-wide worship team, and it was called the Worship Collective. And so they had, through one of my really good friends that I grew up with, Tiana, they had seen a video of me leading worship, and then they were like, yo, we want you to be a part of the team. So like I went and I met them, and then I like kind of auditioned, but it was like not an audition. They had like made up their minds, and it was the grace of God, bro, that they invited me to be on the team. And the school that I couldn't afford to be at for more than 1 year, they chopped my scholarship in half. Like they gave me a scholarship that chopped my tuition in half.
Wow.
So I went from like, hey, I don't know if I could be here after next year, to, oh, I get it. Like this is why God had me here.
Wow.
And he made a way for me to stay. So I joined the Liberty Worship Collective in 2019.
That is crazy. Yeah. And so you're on the collective, you're doing your thing. At this point in time, are you thinking like, all right, like the worship leading is like what I want to do with my life? Or like where's your head at with all that?
Bro, I was still studying to be a doctor of physical therapy.
Really?
Yeah. I'm telling you, like the churches where I'm from are so small and the community is so niche that like if you were a pastor getting a salary and you had more than 100 people at your church service on a Sunday, it was like a big church. Like that's the kind of place that I'm from. I have spent more years of my life in that environment than I have doing what I am doing now.
Right.
Which is crazy. And so like I remember the first time I got paid for anything, I got paid $500 to do this youth event, and I literally thought it was a sin to accept money for ministry.
Whoa. Because
I was just like, bro, why would I ever get paid for this? Like where I'm from, there's no like volunteer. Like, bro, no one gets paid. That term wasn't even a thing because all of us were there just because we wanted to be.
Right.
And people would come and clean the church. I mean, I remember church mothers, people like my grandma. My grandma would work in a job, maybe 2 jobs sometimes, and then would go to the church at like 8 p.m. And because you could just trust people, she had a key. She would go in, clean the church, like on some random Thursday. Like, so I didn't, at this point at Liberty, I have no, bro, the worship collective told me to buy in-ears. I wore them backwards for the first 3 months that I had those in-ears. I wore them backwards, and one of my friends was like, "Bro, like you have them in wrong."
Right.
And I was like, "Bro, I can't hear nothing, bro." So for 3 months, I was singing based off of the reverb in the room.
No way.
And there was like wedges, and
Yeah.
and I could like hear it. But those were for the speakers. That wasn't even for us.
Not for you guys.
I would like feel the vibrations of the bass and the kick on my feet, and I would know where we were.
Dang. That might come in handy if you ever go deaf or something.
Yo, if we go back
I
to
don't speak
wedges,
that over you. I don't speak
yeah,
that over you.
No. And if we do, we'll call your dad.
Yeah, exactly. He can hook you up.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're at Liberty. You're getting exposed to kind of like this whole world you've never seen before.
Yeah.
You're wearing in-ears, wearing them backwards. You're like, what is this? So, and you're still in your major, which is not even music-based or ministry-based.
I switched to business.
And you oh, wow.
Yeah, so I ended up switching to business. Just throw that out there.
Yeah.
If anybody's hiring.
Yeah. Did you get a degree? I'm just kidding. Both college dropouts.
Yeah.
Let's go, baby.
Now look at us.
Now look at us sitting on the couch
Doing
just
a
yapping.
podcast. No one's going to watch us.
Nobody's going to watch this. So you're getting exposed to this whole new world. And so maybe some people know you from your time with Maverick City. So how did you get from this kid who comes from small town Delaware, small church, to Liberty, onto the Collective, which, at Liberty is, a quote unquote kind of big deal. And then all of a sudden you're with the biggest worship group that we've seen, in a long time.
Yeah, that's how my public ministry got started. Like the first time anybody ever heard of me was probably Mav. So I got involved with that through some friends. Before Mav was big, bro, I was watching YouTube videos of Dante singing Real Thing. Me, my friend Philip, who owns Selah Clothing, who is also married to my friend Tiana that I mentioned earlier. Us as friends would watch Mav videos when they had maybe 10, 15K views. I remember the video on Instagram going viral of Dante singing Real Thing. And I remember seeing that and then going to find it on YouTube when it dropped. So it was we were there at the beginning of Mav. And we didn't know what it was. I recognized Dante, Aaron, and Joel and all of them because they used to be background singers for Eddie James. So I'm have my own personal history with these people of who I grew up listening to on the English side. But I got involved with Mav through Philip, who is the owner of Selah. Because before it was Selah, it was this thing called Church Apparel. And Mav was really small and his company was really small. So they did a collab for the live recording where they live recorded Promises.
Dang.
So he made the live recording tee for that. And he was connected with them and they just were friends. I mean, nobody really knew them yet. Obviously, Promises is what blew them up. By the time Promises is blown up, Phil was collabing with them all the time, helping them design merch. And he was running their Instagram. And then the owners of Mav were yo, start following up and coming worship leaders who we can pour into. And so they still weren't as big as they would get. They were still looking for young people to shepherd because they were under the covering of Bethel at the time, which people don't know.
Oh, wow.
Mav was under Bethel, and then so was House Fires and all these people, tribal as a whole, right?
Right.
And so I come in because Phil followed me from their Instagram because he didn't know anybody else to follow. He just started following his friends.
Right.
So through that, they also had access to the account. So whenever they would slide up on a video of me leading worship for the Collective, I just thought it was Phil.
Yeah.
Supporting his homie. But it was actually the owners of Mav. And then that takes us through COVID. That starts happening in the summer of COVID, May, June, July. Come August, my school reopened. It was one of the few schools in the United States that reopened in the heat of COVID.
Right.
So August goes by, September goes by, and at the end of September, I get a text from 2 numbers that I don't have. I had just led Promises at a Wednesday night chapel, and the Mav account had slid up and said yo, this is fire, whatever. Then I get a text from 2 people whose numbers I don't have, and it was just hey, this is, no, I won't say any names, but hey, this is blank, and we want to invite you to come be with us. And so It was really vague, bro.
Right.
But Phil told me like, yo, just go along with it.
Right.
And so I did. Maybe a week later, I got like an email, massive email with instructions. Like, come to Atlanta these days, have a COVID test when you get here, quarantine for 5 days before you get here, and then take another test on the spot. And if you show yourself negative, like, da-da-da-da-da. And it was just a bunch of this stuff. And so I did everything that they asked. And the night before I was going to leave to Atlanta, I got an email, and it was like, I know that we haven't been, like, communication's been wild, but basically, welcome to Mav.
Holy cow.
And so I got to Atlanta, and I was there for 5 days. And like this, they did this thing called the bubble. Mm-hmm. And basically they had a wave of 40 people split up between 3 Airbnbs. 2 Airbnbs where people would stay, and then the recording Airbnb where they were staying, the main Mav people. And a wave of 4 people would come. They would clean the houses, and then another wave of 40 people would come. So within that 8-day span, we recorded, I think it was 120 songs.
Holy crap.
It was like 10 songs every morning, 10 songs every night. Fellowshipping in between. I met some of my best friends. At the end of the first bubble, the first 4 days, mad Spanish people came in. They asked me to stay. And they just gave me songs on the spot that were translated Mav English songs.
Right.
And they're like, sing these. We're going to record them. And I was like, what? Like, and that's how I started with Mav, was with Mav Español, Mav Spanish, Maverick City Música. But that's how it started, was just on the spot. Layla, Johnny, Melody, Karen, Espinosa, they all walked in. And then like people like Edward and Blanca, they all walked in that Saturday, and we all met each other and hit it off. Amanda, Camille, everybody, Aaron, obviously, we all just hit it off.
That is crazy.
And that's how I started with Mav Spanish.
Holy cow. So then you're at school, and you go to this thing that was super vague. You have this wild experience where you're basically a part of this crazy group. Stuff is getting birthed. You guys are writing tons of songs. And then what happens when it's over, like when the week's over?
Well, bro, I had to go back to school. People don't understand. I did this, right? I recorded this Mav album, and I had to leave because I had accounting.
Right.
Like, we recorded that album on a Saturday. I stayed Sunday, even though I was supposed to drive back. And I ended up driving back through the night with my friend Mariah. And Monday, I had class. So, like, after that, I was like, I don't know what happens from here, bro.
Right.
And honestly, God, I don't expect anything out of this. This was the craziest 5 days of my life. God, thank you for letting me be around. And I'm just going to go back to what I was doing. And God had other plans, bro. That happened in October. By December, they had reached out and were like, we want to keep recording stuff. We want to start writing. And before you know it, I was full-time working at school, full-time working at a bagel shop as a cook.
That's crazy.
And driving to Atlanta like bi-weekly to go write.
Oh my god.
And I expected nothing from it.
Right.
I literally showed up, and then my life changed after. Like this.
That is crazy. So, and at this point, you were kind of describing like with the context of like church and like ministry, like nobody really like did this like full time. It's like you're just working a job, and then ministry is just something you do on top of that.
Exactly.
And then now all of a sudden you're with this group. You guys start doing insane things, which I'm pretty sure you guys did the Choliseo in Puerto Rico, which was probably just like an insane moment for you.
After a year of being together.
Right.
I mean, Mav City Música was insane. I think that it's tough for people to get a gauge of in the English world just because there is a language barrier.
Right.
But what happened to Mav in English, how it blew up so quick, also happened to us in Spanish. And it was, I mean, brother, it was crazy. I'm 19 years old though.
Yeah.
I had just turned 20. So all that stuff was happening. I had just turned 20, dude. I didn't know anything.
Right.
Like you were saying, like, bro, I had just started wearing my in-ears right. Y'all don't understand. Y'all was watching me. I'm still going through puberty. Like, y'all watched me grow up.
Right. You looked a lot different back then.
Bro. If you If you watch videos of me
Bro.
during the early Maverick City days for Maverick City Musica, or even Tribal, bro.
Right.
Like when me, Joel, and Ryan are singing stuff on Tribal, I still can't, like my beard is not full. Like I look like a rat. Like I can't, my beard's not connecting in those videos.
Oh, man.
Because I literally am growing up.
Right.
Just publicly now.
Right.
My whole life got switched overnight as soon as I became a part of Maverick City, because it was the fastest growing thing in the worship movement.
Right.
And I actually met the people that 2 years later would bring me to Elevation at that very first camp.
No way.
Yeah.
Who was that?
Steven Brewster.
Oh, that's right. That's
Brewster
right.
is tapped, bro.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
He's awesome.
Shout out Steven Brewster.
Shout out Brucey.
So you're with this group, and how was that, like, as such a young person, going from your context of small and not knowing a lot of things that are happening in the worship world as a whole? How is that going from nobody knows who I am to, dang, like, people are like recognizing me because I'm a part of this group. I'm 19, 20 years old, and like, you know, I have to kind of like care of like how I, you know, move now because I'm a part of this thing that's like blowing up. How was that for you?
Navigating that was super tough. You know, the first time I ever had a panic attack was when the best opportunity of my life to that point had presented itself. So I walk into this room, to the bubble, that I had been like, whoa, all my favorite worship leaders are going to be there. So I walk in, and immediately in what I think is going to be the holiest place, when I think the heaven's going to swing wide and everything's going to be beautiful, immediately I feel the enemy whispering in my ear, you're not good enough. You didn't do anything to deserve this. People know who you are back home. Your past is too bad. Your family isn't good. Like, you can't sing as good as these people. You've never written a song in your life. I had never written a song. And all these thoughts came to my head, and I literally had a panic attack. The first panic attack ever I had in my life was when I walked through those doors to the place that I thought would, like, this is it.
Right.
Like, I made it.
Right.
I go into the bathroom, and I'm literally just like trying to get my breath, bro. Like, my heart feels like it's beating out of my chest. And then it was literally one of those moments where, like, what the enemy meant for evil, God turned it around for good. Because I felt the Lord say, all these things are true. You don't come from the best family. You're not the best singer in the world. All these things, right? I feel like the Lord isn't going, he's not telling me like, you are the best singer. He's saying, no, it's okay. That's why you're here.
Wow.
Because you're not qualified.
Right.
I literally felt the Lord go, you're not qualified. That's why you're here. Because if you bring a seat to the table by yourself, then you have to sustain that seat. But if God pulls a seat up to the table, it'll be sustained by his grace. It'll be sustained by his mercy. So when the enemy was telling me all these things that I thought were disqualifying me from doing it, God was like, this is exactly why I chose you, because I'm going to use you for my glory, and your fingerprints won't even be on it. My purpose for you has my fingerprints all over it.
Wow.
People are going to look at you and be like, how?
Right.
And you're going to be able to say it was the Lord. It was the kindness of God. And so that was really tough to navigate, not being known by anybody, to, like you said, even dealing with like the wisdom of being like, I'm 20 and I want to do 20-year-old things, but now I got kids looking at me.
Right.
And maybe it's not even a bad thing, but I got to watch the way that I act now.
Right.
Because I have people like looking to me.
Right.
Which was kind of crazy. And honestly, I didn't like it for a while.
Yeah.
It was like, this feels unfair. All my friends would do stuff, or my friends would like, you know, cut class to go play beach volleyball.
Right.
And it was just like, when I did it, it was like, bro, you got to chill, man. Like, you're a...
Yeah.
I was like, what do you mean?
What do you mean, bro?
Bro, like, they wouldn't have said that 6 months ago.
Right.
Then I realized people really do look at you differently.
Right.
And whether that's fair or not, life isn't fair.
Yep.
And if this is our cross to carry as leaders, that we have to live under a microscope now, I think now in hindsight, I'm like, it was worth it.
Yep.
Because I got to be an example of Jesus Christ, even if it came at the expense of what I would consider my freedom to act how I wanted to.
Right.
But my life isn't my own. And that was my first really encounter with that, you know?
Yeah, for sure. Dang, that's crazy. So you mentioned you're rocking with Mav, you're in Lynchburg, going back and forth, working at the bagel shop, and then you're now in Charlotte, North Carolina at Elevation Church with Elevation Rhythm. How did that happen?
So basically, I was in like this weird point in my life. I'll save all the crazy details, but I essentially had felt the Lord telling me, hey, it's time to transition into a new season of life. And I was like, bro, I'm still studying business. I'm still working at this bagel shop. Yeah, I'm driving 8 hours to Atlanta every 2 to 3 weeks to go write and to go record. But I'm really fighting still for security in my life. And I could feel God asking me to let go of that. And so a part of that was to just send it full-time ministry, even though my dad is a pastor and he's still fully bivocational, works full-time, everything. So I don't, like I said, I still don't have a reference for that. I get a call after I essentially drop out of school. Don't know where I'm going. Don't know what I'm going to do. I'm crying my eyes out. I just told my parents about all this. They're like, you better be listening to God, boy. Because if you're not listening to God, I'm laying into you, bro.
Right.
And so all this is happening. I get a phone call from Aaron Moses, who's running Spanish Mav at the time. He was like, hey, we're really going to send this thing. Like, are you able to be more available to just come and help and, you know, be a part of the team? They're really defining a core, and they wanted to keep writing more, essentially, and just recording more. And so I'm like, oh, good, this will keep me busy while I'm working at the bagel shop. And then I get a call from Stephen Brewster, and he was like, yo, what are you doing this summer? And I was like, I don't know, bro. I'm just working at a bagel shop. And I hadn't told anybody this because I was embarrassed. It goes to show I was still dealing with pride.
Right.
I was so terrified of like where I would end up in the future that I started just applying to stuff. And one of the things that I applied to was the Elevation internship.
Wow.
I got denied.
Dang. Are you serious?
I got denied for the internship.
I don't know if I knew that.
Yeah. They denied me.
That's crazy.
Look at me now. Goodbye
yesterday.
Shout out
Yeah,
Christian.
that's crazy.
Yeah, I got denied. And so Stephen was like, Stephen Brewster, not Stephen Furtick.
Right.
Stephen Brewster was like, what are you doing? This da, 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 da. I was like, woo, 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 woo. I'm just going to work at the bagel shop. That's it this summer.
Right.
And this summer of 2021.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
so.
summer of 2021. He was like, what are you doing? I'm like, nah, I'm chilling at the bagel shop. And he was like, I want you to talk to one of my pastor friends in Charlotte. He loves what you're doing. Like, just wants to see if he could bring you out for some stuff, whatever. Just wants you guys to connect. So he connects me to Wade Joy, who I don't know that Wade is the pastor of Elevation Worship.
Right.
At this point. He like is a part of the people who are one of the original 8 families who started Elevation. And so we got on the phone and we didn't even talk about music, bro. We just talked about the power of the local church and the power of investing into something local and being planted and rooted in a local church, which resonated with me, especially because I was thinking about transitioning out of Lynchburg to somewhere else. My parents are church planners, so I was like, yo, like, this is really dope. I end up coming out to lead at a rhythm night. I meet David and Tiffany.
Dang.
And I was like, these people are sick. I had met Tiff in Mav maybe a year and a half before, but we really got to spend time. I really got to spend time with David. I really got to spend time with the youth ministry, and I loved it, bro. And eventually they were like, come spend the summer with us. And I did. I took them up on it. I told the bagel shop, like, yo, I'm going to be out for the summer. Yo, shout out Jordan Hawkins, man. You were the best boss ever. and my boss at the time, Jordan, was like, and the owner of Bacon Street Bagels was like, hey, you got a job if you come back. Just like basically go after what God is doing in your life.
Dang.
You're already asking for so many days off anyways.
Right.
So it was funny. We did. I never left. Sorry. I came to Charlotte.
Yeah,
never
and you
went
never
back to
went
Virginia.
back.
It just happened like that.
Crazy.
I went back to get my stuff.
Right.
Maybe get some
You didn't
tattoos.
move back. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I want to talk about later.
But
that's crazy, man. So you're hearing from God, like, hey, I don't think, I think I want to transition you. You have no idea what that looks like. You get a call from this guy who you randomly met at the bubble, connects you with Wade, and you end up coming to just serve, hang out, and then you're finding yourself planted here in Charlotte.
yeah.
So what did that look like? Like, did you like come here like, hey, like, I really hope they hire me, like, I hope they, you know what I mean, like, I gotta pay bills somehow, like?
Yeah, that's real. I was broke. And then I spent all my money living in Charlotte.
Right.
But yeah, I wanted to be a part of the church. I didn't want to do anything music related.
Really?
Yeah. Cause I was just like, all seems like it's happening too fast.
Mm.
So I said no to doing anything music related, and it all happened organically, like maybe 6 months after that.
Dang. Is this too hot? Are we good?
No, I just might end right there.
Oh, wait, it's going to end?
I'm like, I don't know. Is it?
No, I think it's going to keep going. We're learning how to be audio engineers real time right now.
Real time.
Okay, so you're here, you're planted, you're not trying to do anything musical. At what point are you like, is somebody saying like, hey, be a part of Elevation Rhythm? Like,
the youth pastor at the time asked me, and then my relationship with David and Josh, the people who run Rhythm, just kept on flourishing. And it got to the point where when they were recording the Growing Pains album, Josh would bring me in to like demo stuff. But I love this about Elevation Rhythm is that everyone that is a part of it, we have organically just given ourselves to it because we love what God's doing through it behind closed doors. And so I saw the way Josh and David and the team were so passionate about it. And after leading at so many youth nights, when it came time to record the Growing Pains album, which I sang Fake Love on there and then helped write on All Along, it just happened organically. Like we just showed up that night and I was like, I think I'm a part of this group.
wow.
Because it's just all my friends.
Right.
And our friends, we were just making music. You know, we're doing Rhythm House.
Yeah.
It stemmed from relationship.
Right.
And we never looked back. That's why I love Rhythm. I'll give my life for Rhythm. Because it's my friends. It's the community that God gave me here in Charlotte.
Yeah. No, it is so special. And that's where I met everybody. It was Rhythm House, which is crazy. And even how we met is crazy.
Oh, bro. How we met is insane.
Yeah, it is crazy. I was in Miami at the time helping with the youth ministry and church at VU Church. And I had interned there in 2019 with, is it too inappropriate to say your ex-girlfriend at the time?
You already said it.
So I interned with the girl that he would end up dating for a little while. And so she goes back to Lynchburg. They start dating. Fast forward to 2021, which is kind of when your life is kind of getting like a little wicked, I would imagine.
Yeah.
She brings him down to visit all of her friends in Miami, and I'm living there at the time. So she introduces us, and I had already like seen you at this point a little bit on like my social. We had like a good amount of mutual friends, and I had seen you leading, and then I met you, and I was like, this kid's pretty cool.
Kid's pretty cool.
It's pretty cool. No, and we just like clicked, hit it off. Yeah. And kind of like one of those things that like you didn't really like have to try to like be someone's friend. It just kind of like happened. And then he left. We hung out that week or weekend whenever you were there. And then he left, went back to school, and like we just kind of like naturally kept up. And so then fast forward a little bit later, and you're coming down to Miami again for like a God Behind Bars.
Yes. Which we saw that guy yesterday.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Insane.
In Montana. That's wild. That was crazy. Yeah, I had no idea that they were a part of it. Anyway, so then you go do this thing out in like the Everglades Correctional Facility, which is like crazy. Mm-hmm. And then you came
with Mav.
with Mav. And then you were going to stay with me for like a day or less, maybe just the night, because you were going to go to New York after that to lead at a church. It ended up getting canceled, so you just stayed with me the whole weekend.
Yeah.
And that's when like the idea of like come visit me in Charlotte. My life was something else at the time.
Would you say that your life was in shambles?
My life was pretty close to being in shambles at that point.
I think mine was too. I just didn't know. Right. Like I wasn't aware.
Right. That happens sometimes.
In hindsight, I look back and I was like, bro, I was going through it. Yo, we were talking the other day. This is hilarious. We were talking the other day and we started reminiscing on stuff. We were like, I think we were depressed.
It's like
You don't know how down bad you are
right.
until you look back and you're like, oh,
Wait.
I was down horrendous.
Horrendously bad. Yeah. Yeah, it's so true. And then, so I came to visit you in Charlotte, and kind of like what you were talking about, you guys were doing the Rhythm House, and you guys were like way more of like a family than a recording artist, you know?
Yeah.
And I got to see that and meet everybody, and that's kind of what led me here to Charlotte.
How crazy is that?
No, it's wild, bro.
That
Just
kind
to
of
think
both
about
of us coming here had to do with rhythm.
Yeah, 100%, bro. 100%.
Would you say that like your biggest passion is youth ministry, like on a church level?
Oh, I think at a church level, yeah, my heart has always been for the youth. That's where God, like, got a hold of my life, was in youth ministry, and like gave me a ministerial calling, if you will, was in youth ministry. Like, I started serving in my local church in middle school on the worship team, playing drums and guitar.
Y'all don't know JT really a drummer.
Yeah.
Y'all don't know. He be hiding all his gifts.
Yeah, well, you know.
He played for Mac Brock.
Yeah, shout out Mac Brock, man.
Wasn't it like a stadium?
Yeah, bro, it was crazy. I played.
Did you peak?
Yeah, I peaked, bro. I don't even remember what year that was, dude. But that was, yeah. We did an event with Tim Tebow at the Tampa Bay Rays baseball stadium, and Mac Brock led worship, and I played drums for him. And it was in front of like 22,000 people.
Dang. Bro, you peaked.
Yeah, I peaked, bro. It's been downhill ever since. No, but yeah, youth ministry, I'm super, just young people in general. Like, it's such a pivotal time in life. And obviously, like, that's when God got a hold of your heart, was when you were 17. Yeah. I had a very similar kind of like, I was saved when I was really young, gave my life to Christ when I was like 10 or 11. We had just recently converted from like Catholicism to going to like a Protestant church, and me and my dad would read the Bible every night together before I'd go to bed, and he basically just like laid out the gospel message and what Jesus did for me, and I just gave my life to Christ right there at my bedside with my dad in 2007. Holy cow. Yeah, and then just started getting involved in my local church, and like that's where at 17, same as you, is where like I was like, all right, like I've been kind of skating off of like my parents' faith and just being around, and I know Jesus, but it's time for me to kind of like make this faith my own. And it was my junior year, 17, when I did that, and so. Yeah, I've always been super passionate about young people, community specifically as well. And that was something that really like led me to even consider coming here, was like, dang, this youth ministry is super special. They have incredible people who are leading it, like yourself and the other people of Rhythm and the youth staff at the time, and then the kids are just awesome, and like this is like something really, really special. And so anyway, enough about me, bro. This interview's about you.
No, it's about us.
I know, it's about us.
It's not about us.
Yeah. So anyway,
I think this is
really
the most
special.
in-depth interview what even is this? This is the most in-depth I've ever talked about what I've done.
Right, for sure.
I'm realizing this.
Which is why I wanted to do it so bad, because I feel, like I said at the beginning, like so many people know you now because of, your public ministry, if you will. But it's cool to like expose the parts that I've gotten to know of you, just because how you do things now makes so much sense with context of where you came from. You know what I mean?
It's crazy.
So anyway, so you're part of Elevation Rhythm. You guys are doing your thing. You put out Growing Pains. The song, I'm sure a lot of people know you from now, which is still one of my favorite songs, even though I've probably heard it a bajillion times, which it still is incredible. So talk to me about how Goodbye Yesterday like came about.
Bro, Goodbye Yesterday. The story's crazy about Goodbye Yesterday. So Mitch Wong, Josh, Gracie Binion write it. I was coming back from a trip, some random trip, and Josh sends me the song and is like, yo, I need you to learn this, come demo it. And I was like, I was driving, I had just gotten back from the airport. I'm driving, listening to the song. People don't know that the original version of Goodbye Yesterday that they recorded on the demo was just Mitch's voice and a keyboard. You can't, what it sounds like right now is not what it sounded like on the demo. And so it sounds like a lot slower on the demo. And so I'm listening to it and bawling my eyes out, bro. The first time I ever listened to Goodbye Yesterday, I sobbed my eyes out. Like I just felt the Lord fill my car. Because this is the truth of the gospel, is that it is done. It's finished. You fast forward a couple weeks and we do like a workshop for it. And so Goodbye Yesterday's bridge originally was different. Before it was, I have decided, which is probably the most like famous part of the song that people like recognize the most. It was completely different.
And so we were workshopping it, and as we were workshopping it, we started flowing. It's literally Empty Valentine, the rhythm band, and myself, and we just sent it, and I started singing that hymn, I have decided to follow Jesus, as we were flowing. Turns out Pastor Stephen was listening. Pastor Stephen was in the back listening, and him and Josh were talking. Pastor Stephen is actually the one who writes the bridge for the Goodbye Yesterday that we have today.
Dang.
The bridge for Goodbye Yesterday that we have today is literally written by Pastor Stephen.
Dang.
After hearing us workshop it,
Right.
he was like,
You didn't even know he was there. Listen.
no, literally. And so then the bridge changes and we record a new version of it, and it's sick. And that's where we get down low. I have decided down here to fall as pieces. So it was crazy how that happened. Then we recorded it. Joel Barnes. Shout out Joe, man. I love
Yes,
it.
sir.
He's married. He's a married man now. Shout out Jojo now. Shout out to Joe and Lauren. We love you guys. Those are like, that's my family. Joel Barnes actually recorded Goodbye Yesterday at the live recording. And so there's a version of that that's insane. Yeah. That is just still out there. I don't know. Nobody will ever hear it out. Nobody will ever hear it, which makes sense because Joe spazzed. Yeah. But that was on like Sunday live recording for Elevation Worship. Right. And then they were like, we'll just grab it again on Wednesday at our rhythm night. Right. And I was like, well, what? Like, Joe's not going to be here. Right. And so I sang it that rhythm night, and that ends up being the version that we go with. But Goodbye Yesterday started off as a whole nother thing.
That's so crazy. And since then, obviously, I mean, that was over a year ago that it was put out. And I remember, like, just because that's when I kind of came on board with rhythm before it when Goodbye Yesterday came out. And I remember, like, putting it out, and, like, we had done it on tour a little bit, and, like,
yeah,
people kind of, like, weren't really jacking it.
Low key?
Yeah.
People were not rocking like
Goodbye Yesterday was.
Yeah. Just our youth.
Yeah, but we would go do it, like, other places, and people were, like, they didn't really know, like, what to do with it, I feel like. Mm-hmm. And now, fast forward a year and a half later, like, every week, it's, like, it just got put out because it's just growing and growing. Yeah. You've got the chance to lead it in so many places, in so many different environments. Maybe just talk a little bit about it, like, what you see in the rooms that you get to lead it in.
It's so interesting because that song Goodbye Yesterday is extremely blunt. In an age where, like, it's very tempting to try to entertain young people to get their attention, I thank God for the writers of that song that made it really blatant. I've decided to follow Jesus. No turning back. I won't go back. The world behind me, the cross before me, I won't turn back. That is insane to sing, and to watch a bunch of young people profess that with their mouth will always move me. I thought that I would get tired of that song because I knew that once it started doing really well, we were going to sing it everywhere. And we sang it the other day, and my heart was moved because I'm watching a bunch of young people who just gave their life to God. This is their song victory. Like, their victory is not in how good they've been. Their victory is not the fact that worship was good at that service. Their victory is in the fact I have decided to follow Jesus. And that is going to change my life forever. Watching generations declare that all over the place. From our youth ministry to a 28-day arena sold-out tour with Forrest Frank. Every night, the room went feral during the hour yesterday. I was like, we might need to call the cops. This is crazy. Like, it was like, it's wild. And I'm so glad that this generation is hungry for the truth. They're singing the truth. And you're seeing them react to the truth when they're singing. And so it goes to show where this generation's at, bro. Like, these young kids, they don't want fluff.
Yep.
They don't want, like, things that are going to tickle their ears. They want Jesus. And I'm seeing that in the success of the song Goodbye Yesterday. And not success in America. I'm talking about the impact that it's having on their hearts.
Yeah.
That you had a fast song that kids are crying to.
Yeah.
Like, it's really moving their hearts, and they're moving the Father's heart. So it's been wild to lead that.
Yeah.
Leading it at Bedrocks was also crazy.
Crazy.
I mean, listen,
Dude, in a couple days.
Bedrocks twice in 1 year is kind of crazy.
No, it is.
That's a blessing.
It is. No, it is so beautiful. And even like being, I mean, you've sung that song an uncountable amount of times, but even just as an onlooker watching you guys sing it every time, no matter where we are, it's like so impactful. How would you ever get tired of it? Because first of all, it's not about us. Second of all, just being able to watch the individual experiences in every person, young or old, declare that is just like unbelievably powerful. So
At the end of the day, it's the gospel, bro.
yeah, that's why it never gets old.
That's why it never gets old.
Yeah.
If you sing the gospel, your songs will never get old.
Right.
They will always move your heart, and they're always going to move the heart of God.
Yep. No, 100%.
Goodbye yesterday.
Goodbye yesterday. So okay, so a lot of people know you from Elevation Rhythm, but also you have a whole another audience, the Latin American audience.
Yeah.
And this is something that I know just from knowing you so well is super, super, super dear to your heart.
Yeah.
Just because of where you're, like, your upbringing, where you're from, Puerto Rican. And I still, yes, I mean, if you don't know this guy's Puerto Rican, I know. He loves the apple.
Yo, I'm telling you, Puerto Ricans are the most proud people.
Oh, yeah.
We got flags everywhere. I got flags with me right now. I could bring out a flag if I wanted to. I got my Puerto Rico hat. I got a gray one. I got a black one.
Yeah.
And you know what's funny about Puerto Ricans? For some reason, the New York hat, the black New York hat,
Yeah.
also tells me you're Puerto Rican.
100%.
If you got a black fitted, and it's a New York black fitted, and you even look the slightest bit exotic, I'm like, yeah, you're probably Puerto Rican.
Right. Maybe a couple of them out of the, 2 out of the 10 Italian, maybe.
Oh, for sure.
Well, most of the time.
For sure.
For sure.
That's a Puerto Rican hat for me.
Yeah. Right. It's black and it has NYC.
For some reason, we might as well just say, yo soy boricua.
Right. Which, by the way, if you're still watching and you're from this beautiful Latin American audience, can you just go ahead and walk with them in Spanish?
Estamos activos, mi... Acho, quizás se me fue el micrófono. Estamos activos, mi gente de Puerto Rico. Estamos activos aquí en vivo y en todo color. Yo amo a Puerto Rico con todo mi corazón. Yo soy del oeste, yo soy de Isabela. Para que sepa.
By the next time we do this episode, I'll be able to do the same greeting.
JT, yo, y'all skip on JT. JT has jumped from Puente Hermanos in San Juan.
Yep.
JT has had piraguas. JT has done a lot of things.
A lot of things.
I took him for my birthday, and he went from El Lingo to El Lingo Bori.
Yeah. I became, so the locals say, honorary Boricua. I'm not the one saying it.
It's true. We have a verified Elías Hernández.
Yep.
Is Richard de Bayamón del Talentón. Sebas también, el mío. They gave him the...
Yeah, they invited me in.
Yeah, they literally knighted him.
Yeah, but if I don't go very soon, they're going to take him off.
Yeah, it's like a visa. It's out to expire.
Yeah, and I got to renew it by another trip. I'm in the deal. That's the problem. Anyway,
Yeah, bro, people don't... Bro, I be tight.
Why?
Because I feel like... You guys seen that movie Split? With the split personalities?
Yeah.
I feel like that's who I am. Loki used to frustrate me.
Yeah.
Because I'm very much in the Spanish space, and that's actually how I started.
Right.
And by the grace of God, I really get to function in the English space with rhythm, with VU, transformation, like all these people that I love dearly. But they're very separate worlds. And people in English don't really get what I do in Spanish.
No, but I don't know if I didn't say well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy, dude. It's really, really crazy. And I think
that's like a really special call that the Lord has over your life. Obviously, just through the insane things that have happened as kind of been obedient to the Lord in keeping such a heart for Latin America. And it really is crazy, like being able to balance the two. I don't know how to do that sometimes, but so tell me like kind of where that started for you. Obviously, it started with Mad City Musica, but it would have been very easy for you just to come to Elevation and just full send with rhythm to kind of just like leave that in the past, if you will. But you decided that the Lord had other plans. And so maybe just talk about like a little bit about
Yeah, man. I think God loves Latin America a lot, the same way He loves the English church. And the Latin American church is the church that nourished me. I didn't start singing in Spanish and English. I started singing in Spanish. The people that I was raised on, I wasn't raised on Hillsong. I wasn't raised on these people. I was raised on Christine de Gladio, Daniel Calvetti, Marco Huit, Dani Berrios, Rene Gonzalez. Like, those are my heroes. If you were to ask me who my heroes are, you'll just start hearing me rattle off a bunch of Spanish names. So that's a part of me. And I couldn't abandon that. I knew that even after I had left Maverick City Musica, cause we all left around the same time. And we all agreed, this doesn't end with Musica. Like, Musica was just the beginning of this. God has a purpose for Latin America. And it's more than just singing English songs translated into Spanish. I'm a firm believer Latin America has its own song to sing to the Lord. And by the grace of God, I'm still able to do Spanish ministry and sing songs in Spanish. I've received revelation from the Lord. I have more Spanish projects than I even have English projects, which is crazy. On like a personal level, I have Croma and El Espíritu, which just dropped. In English, all I have is Garden Songs. And even one of the songs on Garden Songs is in Spanish, yeah. So, yeah, man, I used to really struggle with it. I had a massive identity crisis. I've always felt like I was too English for the Spanish church and sometimes too Spanish for the English church. And then I had to ask the Lord to give me identity because I was looking for it in ministry.
Right.
And that killed me when I was young. I would just find myself striving. But when God was working in my heart, He just called me son. And sometimes God would call me hijo. And sometimes He would call me His beloved. And sometimes He would call me mi amado. And so I'll just say, He is my father. Él es mi padre. O sea, God has been so kind to me in English and in Spanish. And there's a whole community like that in the U.S.
Right.
Like fully God-fearing Spanish-speaking individuals that went to English schools. But our history with God is predominantly in Spanish. My history with God, when I recite Bible verses in my head, is in Spanish. It's not in English. So very interesting and I'm blessed to be able to serve the Lord in both. It really is different, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, very different.
I couldn't imagine. I mean, just knowing a little bit of context of kind of, not stereotyping, but like kind of predominantly the, Latin American church and beliefs, and then the West. They're very different, and they have different strengths and different weaknesses. And then to watch you kind of be able to operate in both is super, super crazy. One of the things that I wanted to talk about is your kind of, in this, starting to get much more well known in the Latin American community as a worship leader and as an artist. And just from you letting me know that like your appearance is sometimes a massive turnoff for people in that community.
Yeah.
The tattoos, the earrings.
It's crazy.
Like, talk to me a little bit about that, because you obviously have such a heart for them, but then sometimes they reject you before they even get to know you.
Oh, yeah. I be getting hated on, bro, for the way that I look.
That I'm like, you're like telling me like people are like commenting on yourself some wild stuff that I don't know because I can't read it.
People have called me a devil worshiper. People have called me a servant of the Antichrist. I mean, it's gotten wild, bro. And I used to cry, but I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I'd be hearing this stuff at 20, 21.
Right.
And I'm more excited to serve God and do Spanish ministry than ever. And I was met with so much backlash just because of the way I looked. Because I got earrings, because I got tattoos, because of this and that. And unfortunately, there is a lot of people where I come from that are super realistic about appearance. And so it's been difficult to navigate, but I would never change who I. Also, let's just start right here. Tattoos are not a sin.
Yeah. Okay. So what do you think about tattoos,
What do I think about
earrings?
tattoos?
Yeah. What would you say to people who are giving you hate on social media or wherever in person? What would you say to people who are saying tattoos and piercings are a sin?
Yeah, they're just not, bro. yeah, I got it wrong, bro. I understand though, and I understand. Here's the thing that lives here, I understand the people. Let me also say that your body is a temple of the Holy Spirit. If we're talking about tattoos, everyone's talking about that verse, that Levitical law that said you should not mark your body with ink. That is very much, if you read the text in context, that is very much for the Israelites that are marking their bodies with pagan gods. That is not for Nate Diaz, who wants to put a cross in the Garden of Eden on his arm. Right? Let's talk about it. We have been free from that same law. So that tattoos are not a sin. Also, the people that are telling me like, yo, your body is a temple, bro. Though, why are you marking your body? Bro, you eat McDonald's 7 times a day. You're damaging your body worse than I am. At least I look fly.
Right.
You stink now, bro. Bro, if we're gonna be like, that was meaning. Y'all understand I'm a troll. I like joke around.
A beautiful bird.
Yeah, I love y'all, man. But if we're gonna be this way, then let's be about it. Fully. Across the board. Because by that same logic, y'all should be dieting.
Right.
And I know y'all not dieting.
Right.
Because you are texting me.
I got fired up.
Yeah. Talking about you're going to hell. But God knows. Bro, I had some guy tell me that I was going to hell in my DMs for the way that I looked. And I looked at the accounts that he was following on Instagram. All very inappropriate stuff. Yeah. And it was literally like that verse of you see the speck in someone else's eye, but you don't see the log in your eye.
Right.
And at the end of the day, mine is not even this isn't doing anything.
Right.
Me having the gospel all over my left arm and Proverbs and Psalms all over my right arm, I promise you, man, I'm in right standing with God.
Right. For sure.
Meanwhile. What are you doing, bro?
Right. No.
Tattoos are not a sin.
Yeah.
But I understand, I come from the world it is. I watched my mom get condemned to hell when I was 8 years old for wearing jeans outside of church. A lady came to me in church, said she'd had a dream, and then that she had seen my mom later that day in jeans outside of church, and that because of that, my mom was going to hell. So these same rules that we're coming up, we're making them up. Jesus is not saying this about us.
Right.
This is not what the blood is speaking. This is not the better word of the blood. This is not the gospel. This is man-made religion that is dead and leads to nothing but shame and guilt.
Right.
It was instilled in me from a young age, bro. And so I'm still unlearning and being loved by the Lord in so many ways, just because I was the place that I came from.
Right. Yeah, it makes sense for sure. And I mean, obviously we're all navigating. We come from so many different places, and we're confined to the context of how we're brought up a lot of times. But that's crazy.
Yo, I hear young kids always do it. Breaks my heart. I'll get young kids DMing me from all over Latin America, hey, I want to love God and I want to have tattoos too. Is this a deal breaker? Right. And I just say you can have tattoos and love the Lord. Absolutely. They are not the opposite. Tattoos are not a sin, but still pray to God and ask.
Yeah.
Hey, is this what you would want for my body? Because I know people that don't have tattoos and that don't feel like they can have them.
Right.
And it's actually worked out where they're in spaces where not having tattoos actually work to their benefit.
Right.
Now, I'm in a space where all this marking on my arm has allowed me to lead people to Christ because it's been conversation starters. You feel me?
Yep.
So your body is the temple of the Holy Spirit, and still come under the submission and the leadership of Jesus. Regarding that, you know, no, for sure, tattoos are not a sin, and Jesus loves you a lot.
Yeah. No question. That's pretty crazy. Before we get into the music, especially the Spanish stuff, I gotta ask. I mean, the whole internet, everywhere we go, I got people coming up to me all the time. Is Nate Diaz single? Give him my number. We were literally just at Voot, and the girl who was hanging with us, helping take care of us, was like, bro, like, people are coming up to me because they know, like, I'm with y'all and with Nate, and they're like, hey, can you please ask, I guess he's single? Like,
That is crazy.
and dude, yeah, I could tell some crazy stuff.
I didn't even know about that.
Yeah, it happened just a couple months ago, or last month.
Yeah.
And so I gotta ask for the people, you know what I mean?
Yeah. This is a people's podcast.
Yeah, bro. Like I'm out here fighting for y'all to answer the questions that you've been dying to know the answer to. So Nate Diaz, are you single? And also, by the way, y'all be anybody who's around us, man. We be getting allegations, bro, that we're gay.
You know what? We need to talk about that,
We gotta talk about that first, man.
bro.
Cause like,
What are you guys are insane. You
Yeah.
think we're gay?
why? Why do you think that?
Y'all think we gay?
Is this too far? This is good.
Think about it.
No. The answer is no.
Bro, of course not.
What are you guys talking about?
Nah, we are close.
We are close.
We're like brothers.
Yeah. What's that verse? It's like,
Jonathan and David took their robes off in front of each other. No. That verse.
it's closer than a brother to
Turn this, yeah.
stick closer. Yeah, that's how we are. So the answer is Nate Diaz. JT Smith, guys. The answer is no. Anyway, back to the topic at hand. Is Nate Diaz single? Nate Diaz?
No.
Whoa!
I'm not.
He's not single, ladies and gentlemen.
Wait, can I do one more dramatic for the clip?
Yeah, please.
We can edit this out.
Go again. Are you single?
Heck no. I am not.
Nate Diaz, ladies and gentlemen, is off the market.
I've been off the market. I'm in. I'm,
Whoa!
I'm in.
He said the L word.
I said the L word. And no. Yeah, I haven't been single since April this year, April 18th.
April 18th.
So it is new. I was
Good
single for a
Friday.
long time. Yeah, it is. It was Good Friday.
It was a good
And
Friday.
it was a great Friday. I was single for a long time. I do feel like the Lord had me be single for a long time. I'm so glad that I was. And I honestly wanted to be single this year.
Yeah.
I did not see myself getting into a relationship. This is how much we're touring, how little we're home. But I really relinquished the idea of any relationship to the Lord. Like, I would say that I fully relinquished it. Even though I wasn't looking for it, I would still try to conjure up scenarios in my mind, in the back of my mind every once in a while. And I don't feel like I fully gave that over to the Lord till top of last year. Not that I had made any moves. I didn't make, like,
Yeah.
nothing serious.
Right.
But, yeah, bro, I'm not. I found a wonderful girl in a season of life where I didn't think that I had time for anybody.
Right.
She's a beautiful girl. I've never met anybody like her, bro. I'm just like consistently left with my jaw on the floor when I think about this girl. Today we had the most insane conversation. We were talking about Jesus and she started crying on the phone and I was like, I dreamed of you. So
Dang. It's beautiful.
it doesn't work out.
Yeah.
It crash out.
Well.
Yeah, if it doesn't work out this way.
But if it does, this is going to get put your way.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
For sure.
And it's gonna work out well unless she realizes that
Yeah.
I dated way up.
Right.
Because I would never let that girl go. She's the best.
Crazy. So, I think it is crazy too, like how it all happened. Because
You've seen it all.
I've seen it all. But I saw you in a prior relationship. I saw you in a long season of singleness, and then I saw how this happened. So, I mean, even just for myself, because I'm single, like, what would you say to people who are in kind of like the singleness season, who haven't found their Sophie yet? Like, what were kind of some of the things that you were trying to stay like focused on in that kind of time?
Yeah, bro. I think you got to be honest with God and don't look at singleness as a bridge to your next relationship. I think that's huge. Take singleness for what it is and don't try to put an expiration date on it. Don't try to say like, I'm going to be single because I know I'm going to work on this and then I'll get in a relationship.
Yeah.
Don't use singleness as a bridge to get to a relationship. Just love being with God. You were meant to delight in God and for God to show you how much he delights in you. And I thank God that I was single for 3 years because, bro, it made me a man. I actually became a man alone. Yeah, with the Lord. And I allowed the Lord. And to this day, I still have that individuality in my relationship, is that God is still pruning things within me. God is still working on things within me. God is still lavishing me with his love and consistently fathering me and turning me into the image of the Son, Jesus Christ. Don't rush, y'all. Don't be weird. You know, I'm gonna tell all these single people, don't be weird, bro. Like, don't try to like over spiritualize everything. If you're a male, have female friends and don't dream of scenarios where you guys end up together. Like, just have a female friend. Right. I think not being weird is a massive thing to tell somebody that's single. For sure. Hey, bro, just chill, bro. You just gotta chill. You really just gotta chill and really let you fall in love with God, bro. Yeah. You'll never be single again. If you end up married, think about it. You're gonna spend 2/3 of your life married. You'll never be single again, though. You'll never know what it's like to get to know the Lord on your own in your apartment, or if you're young. Like, don't be in a rush. Do not be in a rush. You know, there's so much life to live. There's so much to see. There's so much to become. Take it for what it is, bro. Just don't be in a rush. Yeah.
And don't be weird.
Don't be weird. Don't be in a rush. Yeah. And don't use your singleness as a relationship bridge.
Yeah. That's great. Okay, so let's get back to music. Obviously, beautiful singer, by the way.
Thank you.
So we talked about your heart for Latin America. You've got 2 full Spanish projects out now, which Chroma is insane. It's definitely some of my favorite work you've ever done. Oh, look at that. He's got the shirt on. Dang. And the track list on the back.
I don't got that.
Did you ever sell this or no?
Nah.
Dang. So 1 of 1 right there.
Uh-huh.
Well, there's actually another one that exists.
If this pod gets 20,000 views, you'll drop it? I'll drop it.
Oh, that. All right. Y'all heard the man. Like this thing. View this thing. Share this thing. So, I know your most recent thing is El Espiritu. Let's talk about Chroma first, because I just feel like it's so insane. Sonically, it's super groundbreaking. Lyrically, it's super beautiful. My journey watching you make that was so awesome, because it's so fire, but it, like, to me, is super risky.
Oh yeah.
Like, it would have been so easy for you just to be like, all right, I know this industry. I know what's working.
Mm-hmm.
I can give these people what they want. But you had a burden from the Lord, I believe, to speak a language and present it in a way that was provocative, but spoke to a very specific person.
Yeah.
And so I don't even have a question besides just like explain to the people like what was on your heart coming up with Chroma, and kind of just some cool things you've seen from that video.
Man, Chroma is such a...
And it's slept on, bro. Second of all, people are sleeping on that album. Not to say it didn't do well, but I'm just saying
It's a masterpiece. All right, I'm done, lazy.
No, you are so kind. Very encouraging, bro. It is risky. It was crazy, and I didn't want to do it. Cause I still had a little bit of the fear of man in me. And I had so many of those songs already. And I remember I enjoyed making that kind of music so much because it's a reflection of who I am. But I was too afraid to put it out. Cause like you said, I knew how it would be received. I knew that people were going to talk bad about me. People would be like, that doesn't make sense for him. Where is this coming from? Is he like going off the rails? But man,
In that community, like, it's not a worship album, quote unquote.
yeah,
That's like Holy Spirit fire or whatever.
yeah.
It sounds similar to a lot of things that probably aren't accepted in
Yeah,
that community.
100%.
So that was also like a huge risk factor.
Oh yeah, there was no part of making that album that was safe. Everything we did was risky. Everything, bro. Even financially.
Right.
Getting on a plane and flying out to Mexico City and being in Puerto Rico with my boys making it was crazy, bro. We didn't have we did it in sprints.
Right.
I wish I could give those guys everything.
Right.
And one day I will. Croma was a healing project for me. And it is the beginning of a lot. Croma is not just one album. Croma is a conceptual world of freedom and childlike creativity with the Lord. If Garden Songs is home, then Croma is like the fun room.
The playroom.
Exactly. If Garden Songs is home for me, then Croma is the playroom. For sure. And if Pizza is like the living room.
Wow.
Croma is like where God set me free of like, hey, you can create like a child and I'm going to love it. Because remember, all of this is for me, just like Garden Songs was too. And that's what makes it worship. It doesn't matter if it's a reggaeton beat. I cried writing Hiro Mia at 3 a.m. to a reggaeton beat, just empty, playing in the back. The same way I cried while we were writing Bella Fortuna on El Espíritu. Both of those albums are the exact same to me because they're the exact same to God. They're both an offering of love. And if nobody watched it and nobody listened to it, I'm going to be good. Now, I thank God that people love Croma. And Croma was controversial. I did have a lot of people reach out to me. I had a lot of people that said, you don't know what you're doing. You don't know what you're getting into. You bit off more than you could chew. Like, real life industry people saying like, hey, you should rethink this.
Right.
This wouldn't be good for your brand. And every time I felt people telling me that, I knew we were going in the right direction.
Yeah.
Because real creativity, real art for the Lord will not be understood by men at first. Even El Espíritu, the way I set up the room and we creative directed that project, people still don't get it. You know, people are upset about the fact that I had a cross. No, there's like a whole thing. It's like, you're worshiping the cross.
What?
I was like, no, it's just a sign of victory. Your savior was on that.
Yeah. What?
Anyways, all this to say that Croma, bro, and I don't think people won't get it for a while.
Yeah, for sure.
And even though a lot of people did, the majority of people won't get it.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that.
Right.
Cause it's, at least it's making them think. Croma made people think. I said some very offensive things in there. I have a whole song about repentance. I have a whole song about that we wrote it because a group of men, writers, some of your favorite artists were in a room and we wrote about our journey with sin.
Wow.
That song, PQ Amei,
Which will get a lot of people's favorites.
which is crazy because it's the most vulnerable.
Right.
It's very controversial. That song is very controversial. People either love it or people are like, why are you talking about that on a record? The whole first verse, there's no resolve. It just talks about how your heart is disoriented because you've sinned and you feel stuck. And then the song is about how even in the midst of that, God's love cuts through. But a lot of the songs are, bro, one of the songs starts off with saying, Arrepienta de hijo del diablo. Agúzate.
Yeah.
Starts off with a Facebook clip that we sampled of this like super rajatabla, like vieja escuela, RT, legalistic guy saying repent, son of the devil. And then it's a play off of that because the song Agúzate is inspired by the salsa song, Oye una voz que me dice, Agúzate. And it's talking about a guy, they were on a street corner in Puerto Rico and he's saying like, yo, tighten up, the cops are coming. So abusate comes from that. Sevarik, who you hear me give in the producer tag to, he was like, bro, I was listening to this song, but instead of like saying like tighten up, like the compliment coming was like, get ready, God's coming. Well, you're ready, God's coming for his church. And so the song sounds like the earth is like, an alarm is going off because God's coming to rapture his church. And it starts off with this old school Pentecostal preacher going, repent, son of the devil. So it's crazy, bro. Like, that's offensive.
Yeah.
And people don't get that.
Right.
People listen to that. People still hear on that clip on IG that went viral. Like, people don't get it.
Right.
And they won't. I hinted to El Espíritu in Chroma.
That's right.
I'm about to play it, bro.
Play it, bro.
Because people really don't understand.
Yeah, put them on, bro.
This is not a nod to me or like a nod to our creativity. This is what I'm talking about. God was in Chroma.
Right.
Like God was in this project the same way he was in El Espíritu. I have a song, probably one of my favorite songs on this record called Ironia. It says the irony of the whole song says how ironic is it that the king of the world chose peasants to give his salvation to. The king of the world chose his enemies to give his love and life to. And so it's with Chris, Musica. And so that's like the first half of the song. And then the second half of the song, the beat changes.
Yep.
And then it's like, how ironic is it that we who have been given the best version of love tend to sin against each other and hurt people more than any other religion.
Dang.
So it's like conceptually crazy. But in my verse of Ironia, I point to El Espíritu. Y'all don't be listening, bro. Y'all gotta listen close. Again, this is not a nod to like my creativity or my songwriting skills. This is how the Lord worked in this Chroma project.
Right.
That it's still, Chroma 2 is coming. Chroma 2 is on the way. It's already being worked on, and it is going to be an offering to the Lord, but also a piece of art that we can that points back to Jesus. And these songs are going to be crazy. Like if Chroma 1 was risky, Chroma 2 is going to be riskier, and it's going to be crazier, and it's going to be wilder than anything we've heard. So I literally hit to the intro of my album, El Espíritu. It's called Guíame. Right. Okay. So this is where I literally hit El Espíritu right here. Si tienes mala vibra, quítate. No vivo por mí mismo, olvídate, fíjate. Mírame, ahora estoy cantando, guíame.
Dang.
Say now I'm singing Guíame.
That's crazy. Bro, that was. And then, what is that intro only on the live or is it on the album too?
It's on the album.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Guíame is the song that would start El Espíritu. But it wasn't until a year and a half after that we did. People don't know. I also wrote Guíame and Supernova I wrote Guíame and Doble Filo.
Yeah.
On Chroma on the same day.
That's crazy.
I was at the studio at 3 in the morning in Mexico City, and I had to fly out to Dallas at like 5. So I was just like, let's just stay and write. And me and my friend Otto and my friend Poncho, we were in the studio vibing, and we just started writing this song called Doble Filo. Bro, and that's the first song on Chroma. Maybe 4 hours later, I land in Dallas from Mexico City. I'm beat, but I'm like, Lord, I want to be present to this writing camp that I'm at for my friends.
Right.
For Comunidad Aliento, Puerto Rico. They're in Dallas. And the first song that we write, or the second song that we write, I sit down at the piano and I do this little lead line. Me and Sebas recorded, and we wrote Guíame.
It's insane.
But 6 hours before then, we had written Doble Filo. Right. So God is giving me, by His grace, He's giving me songs for Chroma and El Espíritu at the same time.
Same time. From the same heart. That sound way different. Wow! Yes, sir! Me leading! No, it's crazy. And then...
That's a clip, by the way. I don't know if you could that, but yeah. I might need that for my social.
Right. I mean, you got rest. You got rest to all this, man. So, Chroma was obviously insane. You're kind of getting downloads from the Lord for all of this while you're writing Chroma, writing all these songs. He's setting up El Espíritu. And this is like, to me, I don't know. Maybe it's just because you're my brother, but the journey of
the spirits you from basically conception and download from the Lord. So the end result of putting out the album and releasing on the videos and stuff and the live recording, like, it's just such a crazy story. So I want you to tell people, like, how did the spirits here come about and how was it able to be accomplished? Because if people don't know, you're not signed to a label.
Yeah.
Which, if, maybe some of you guys don't know about the music industry, but being an independent artist is not easy. It's like starting a company with no investor.
Yeah. No, perfectly said.
Like, you have these dreams, and in this context, it's, music, and you have all these crazy ideas that you're getting downloads from the Lord, but you have no way of accomplishing the, what it really could be, because everything comes with, money. There you go. It takes money to do cool stuff.
Yeah.
That's just the reality of the situation. And so tell people kind of how Spirits came about.
82 is a result of a vision that I had in 2023 at Upper Room end of year, where I saw this dove flying around the room. I'm getting encountered by the Lord. I'm just seeing a bunch of this stuff, and I see this dove just come in front of my eyes as it flies around the room, comes in front of my eyes, and just starts flying there. And I heard the Lord say, I want to give you dove eyes this year. And I was like, what? I'm just swirling over there. So I'm like, yes, God.
Dove eyes, God.
Yes, God. I want to see like a dove. I'm in the spirit. And then I'm like, what does that mean? So I go on this whole year-long journey. I'm not seeing an album. I'm not seeing anything. All I know is that God is speaking to me. And what I found out is that dove do not have peripheral vision. So when a dove is looking at something, it is so focused on that. What does that mean for the dove to be the representative of the Holy Spirit? It means that the Holy Spirit is looking at something. What does the Holy Spirit say? It says that it's a witness. The Holy Spirit prophesies about the Son. It witnesses of the Son witnesses of the Father, and the Father in his love pours out his Spirit on all flesh. So it's this cycle, this heavenly cycle, that because of the blood of Jesus, we are now in it. So I look to the Spirit, and the Spirit gives me revelation. He's the one who leads us to all truth and guides us, right? What does he guide us to, though? He guides us to the Son and the ways of the Son. And what does the Son do? The Son came to do the business of the Father. And then the Father looks at us with love and pours out his Spirit so that we could live like his Son, who's going to tell us about him.
Wow.
So that's what El Espíritu is based off of. Start that journey. I start getting revelations as the Lord is revealing this to me all throughout last year, 2024. Start writing songs about it. Songs like Digno come alive. Songs like Lléname were birthed. Songs like Bella Fortuna. And so then we did a writing camp, and as I'm in Dallas, I'm at Upper Room for this writing camp, and the preacher that is there, Haley Brown, this sermon changed my life, dude. I will fall out right now talking about it. She talks about the Sunday that I go start my writing camp in Dallas with the boys, the Gambola boys. Her sermon is on the senses of the Spirit. She was like, eyes of the Spirit. What does the Spirit feel? What does the Spirit say? What does the Spirit hear? And I had an encounter that left me drunk in the Holy Spirit for about 48 hours, bro. Like I was destroyed. My parents had to carry me up the steps in our Airbnb. It was crazy. That's how El Espíritu was birthed. That we finished writing for it. And at that point, we knew it was a project. But then conceptually, obviously, the live recording was crazy. We hung 300 feet of curtains.
Right.
And I had been doing a lot of tarp work, like little stuff, in the way that I was designing spaces leading up to it. But even in prom, we built that studio in Puerto Rico, but it was nothing. This was like the pinnacle.
Right.
The full vision and the full fulfillment of what God had been giving me. Even how we recorded at a resting place. God had shown me the color of the carpet that we were going to record this album in. And I hadn't been to resting places new building. When I walked in, I recognized this carpet. I was like, God showed this to me in a vision that we were supposed to record this here. I walk in, bro, and I literally can see it. Like I saw it. My dad was there with me. You could testify that I saw it. I was like, we need to go here. So many things lined up for it. Apparently I didn't realize my grandfather had given his life to New Jersey at this point. He was given his life to God 20 minutes up the road. The beginning of my faith in my family started 20 minutes away from where we recorded at Espiritu. So it was like, it was very full circle for me. There were so many God moments that led up. I could go on forever. I really expect stuff to happen, but we had prophetic dancing happening, we had prophetic painting happen. Only 500 people were in the room. We limited it to 500, and we put a 15-foot wooden cross at the front. And I did an entire recording for an album with my back to the audience, because I wanted to establish the fact that we are in the inner courts of God. We built a temple inside of a temple, and then we put the cross at the front, and everything, even the dancers and the painters, was pointing towards the cross. So yeah, the Espiritu was insane, bro.
That's crazy. And I feel like a lot of people, when they're walking with the Lord, like obviously he wants to do amazing things through your life. And oftentimes he'll give us these downloads, but there's such a gap between the download and then what the finished project or whatever it might be is. There's this gap where it's like, I think you're telling me you want me to do this, Lord, but I have no freaking clue how this is going to happen. And I think what's so cool about kind of what you're saying is like, you know, the Lord downloaded what he wanted you to do and what he wanted you to say and what he wanted you to sing. And even to the minute detail of what the color of the carpet was going to be.
Yeah.
But what did you kind of learn throughout that process of like, hey, man, I understand what you want me to do, Lord, but I have no idea how you want me to do it or how I'm going to do it.
Bro, I received my first financial miracle ever as a grown man for El Espiritu. I got the budget back maybe a month and a half, 2 months before. I pitched to my team. I pitched to everybody that I work with. This is what I want to do. I had a vision, and I saw God give me a vision of what this room is to look like. And then we priced it out, and the budget was insane better.
Yeah.
I'm talking about like tens of thousands of dollars.
Right.
And I was like, Abi. I got Chick-fil-A yesterday and it hurt my bank account.
Right.
What are you talking about? This is how much it's going to be. And bro, to your point, I was really discouraged. I remember I asked you for prayer and everything, bro. I was so discouraged when I got that budget back. Cause I was like, God, I know I'm not crazy. Like, I know what you showed me and I know what you told me to do, but I don't know how we're going to do it.
Right.
Because we don't have this money.
Right.
And, I received a miracle, bro.
And even before that, you received this, like, I feel like there was almost this, like, fork in the road of, like, I could do some things that I don't want to do to make this happen.
100%.
Like,
Not like nothing. I wasn't going to start smoking.
no, he wasn't going to go sell drugs.
Bro, I was really just about to sell out.
Yeah.
And I just try to do anything to make money so I could make this record.
Right. Yeah, exactly. But you didn't, for God. And so, continue.
I was about to just pick up like mad jobs and like just do whatever. Like,
Right.
dude, okay, maybe I'll just sign to somebody.
Right.
Like, I almost caved. Thank God I didn't. Thank you, Lord. It was history. Yeah, bro. And I received my first miracle through an incredible church. And I'm going to say it here publicly because they deserve to be honored. Destiny Worship Center in Florida is really interested in disrupting the evil that is happening in the Christian music industry regarding people and artists being supported financially and owning their masters of stuff. They really invested and believed in me when they had no reason to. They just believed in what God was doing, and they really helped me make this project come to life. There is no El Espiritu without Destiny Worship Center and the generosity of their people and the generosity of their giving. And they gave something to Latin America.
Which they're not a Spanish church.
No, they're not a Spanish-speaking church.
They can't understand what you're saying on the album,
No.
but they still felt it.
But you know what they really put into practice when the Bible says the glory, honor, and riches belong to God? Because I was not looking for someone to fund my dream. Let's just make that clear. I wasn't looking for money to fund my dream of making it out. That's not my dream. When God gives me stuff, it's like a fire in my bones that I can't contain. I'm not looking to do something for me. I'm so overwhelmed with the idea of being obedient to him. I'll do whatever I need to do. And by the grace of God, Destiny saw that and they said, we want to come alongside your obedience to God. And they really invested into this project to make it happen. And God bless you guys, Pastor Steven, the whole crew, man, everybody over there. Incredible people. And I got some really exciting stuff coming with them too. I'm helping them with some music and partnering with them. But man, they really blessed me, bro. And a Big 2 doesn't exist without them.
Yeah.
And like a month before the album, 2 months before the album, they came in clutch. And my manager was just like, hey, I know we don't give up on this. I'm gonna reach out to some friends that are like looking to invest because they have a burden for helping artists in the industry that can't get anything done.
Right.
If we just gonna say it, let's just say it. Like, it's tough being an independent artist, but it's not impossible.
Yeah.
I've seen God's provision in my life. People like Destiny, that are incredible. So
Yeah.
shout out to them.
Yeah. And then obviously fast forward to the night. Incredible night. The testimonies that came from that or just, I mean, obviously you could sit here all night and talk about it.
Yeah.
Sorry if you hear some ambulances right now or
Go.
about 30. But maybe just touch on like one of your favorites. I know as far as like picking, a favorite child, but maybe touch on one of your favorite songs and kind of how it came about and what it means to you.
My favorite song on that album changes every week. But right now, the one that I love so dearly is Dimno with Israel Poet and Aaron Moses. One, people don't know, it was written here in Charlotte.
Really?
Yeah, we actually write Dimno here. It's just crazy. Israel and Aaron are two dear friends to me. Israel is really like a big bro, like someone that I love so much. But it also was crazy. We've gotten so close. Sometimes I also forget he's 100% my musical hero in Christian music. And I love that man. I adore that man's heart, his integrity. He's one of the most honest, anointed individuals I've ever met. And I've said that cameras off. I'll say it cameras on. I don't care. God don't touch him, bro, or else I'll punch you in your face. Cause I'm still God's word on me. Could that, Jack, could that? But definitely one of my favorite songs. 100% Diglo. It's just timeless too. Like, it's a timeless melody. I feel like I could teach my kids that song one day, but kids could teach their kids, So I love that song for sure.
Yeah, it's amazing. I feel like the whole project is amazing. I feel like it's just getting started. And you got the opportunity to do one of the songs at Chodosea, right?
Yeah, we did Choli in Puerto Rico. That's crazy, bro. The Lord is kind. On Good Friday.
On Good Friday, which was when you got your girlfriend.
That's what I'm saying. It was a great Friday.
It's a great Friday.
It's a great Good Friday.
Talk about kind of, because I notice sometimes, whether it's in music or whatever you do, it's one thing to get the download, to write that song. And then it's a whole different deal when you get to see other people impacted by what it's saying.
Yeah.
So maybe talk about a little bit about that, because I saw like the clips from it and it's like crazy.
Yeah. Doing Santo live at Choli was crazy because it had just released the week before.
Right.
So it had only been out for a week, but within the first week, it got like 100 to 200,000 views on YouTube, something crazy that I didn't expect.
Right.
And then when we got to Choli and we sang it, I did a set with Karen, but also one of my best friends, bro. I love you, Karen. Also hearing her stuff live in Choli, for Easter was so beautiful because we were singing these songs that were birthed from such a deep place in us, and the people of God were singing them back to the Father. Well, it was like the biggest honor that people were singing Santo on a Good Friday service in the Choliseo, which is insane. It was just like, it's an honor, bro, to be able to write songs to him. And for some reason, in his mercy and in his grace, he breathes on it and he allows other people to hear it. It testifies of the Son in their spirit and they sing it to him.
Yeah.
So to see, Santo at Choli was crazy. Like, I was like, It was holy, bro. That's exactly what it was. It was exactly that. Fue santo. It's crazy.
Wow, it's beautiful, man. So we've been going for a little bit here.
Dude, I don't even know. Is it
Hours? No, not 2 hours. Hour and 40 minutes.
Oh.
This is definitely going to be for anybody who cares about this podcast. This is definitely going to be a reoccurring guest for sure.
Yo, if y'all don't invite me back, I'm crushing out.
Um,
Y'all, it's just me and you.
yeah, literally nobody else this week.
Yeah.
What else should we talk about? Anything else? Anything else you want to say?
What's next for you?
What's next for me? Hopefully more of this, man. I really believe in giving people space to have conversation. I feel like it's such kind of a lost art form these days of like having conversation, whether you agree or disagree. Sitting down with people. I think it's such an important part of our faith too. Like in Acts, it talks about breaking bread with people, and there's such a community aspect that I feel like the Lord honors. And so, yeah, honestly, just more of these conversations with people. If you have somebody you want to see on here, please comment it down below. Yeah, I freaking love you, man.
I love you.
Thanks for taking some time to do this.
This is fire.
It was. It's definitely, we could go on forever.
Bro, when stuff happens, like what if like, bro, I'm just trying to do a pod.
Yeah.
If stuff happens, like crazy stuff, we should do like little 10-minute. Like,
100%.
we think about it.
No, 100%. I'm about to go to Israel too, so I feel like we got to do a little something over there.
Oh, 100%.
Because that's going to be wild. And I feel like, for me, I don't know if y'all are like this. If I don't like either write something down or document it in some way, shape, or form, I forget what all the Lord does. So you definitely got to do that for sure.
100%.
Another podcast coming with Diaz from Israel. Anything you want to plug before? I know you kind of already said that another Corona is coming, which is awesome.
I can't believe I said that right here.
I know, it's crazy.
Chroma 2 is being made. And we're not done with that Espiritu either. There's so much that God is doing. There's so much more. And I want to do worship nights, bro.
Yeah.
I was talking to a friend today. I want to do worship nights in Spanish and English. In certain cities in the U.S., but I really want to go to Latin America. It's been such a heavy touring year. English, rhythm, for sure. And I really haven't been able to go to Latin America like I wanted to since the album dropped.
Right.
So you could definitely count on me being in Colombia, México, Puerto Rico, por todos lados. Yo quiero ir para Latinoamérica. Ahora que estamos terminando la gira en inglés con el Elevation Rhythm, que todo este año estuvimos de gira, definitivamente Chroma 2 viene, algo más del espíritu también viene, y tenemos un par de ciudades en mente para hacer noches de adoración. So, vamos para encima, corillo.
Estamos activos, man. I love you, brother. I love you. I honor you. I'm grateful for you. Grateful to have a brother in my life like you. I'm telling you, we've been through a lot of ups and downs together.
Yeah.
And if you don't have somebody in your life like a Nate Diaz, go find one as soon as you watch this episode. I'm telling you, life without a brother or a sister that you can do life with, that you can cry with, that you can celebrate with, that you could check. But like, you can literally check them, they can check you. You have open dialogue about everything in your life. I'm telling you, that will do wonders for your relationship with the Lord, because we're not meant to do this life alone at all. And I can tell you, I would not be the man I am or the Christ follower that I am without you, brother. And so I love you to the moon back. I love you. You're stuck with me for life. You gringo, brother.
Oh, yeah. My mother's excellent.
That's right, Eddie. I love you, Mom.
Love you, Mom.
Hey, Alma. All right, well, I feel great, man.
I feel great.
You feel like you
I
got...
was trying not to cry.
I know, dude.
Is there something? Every once in a while, I look into the frame and I just realize it's just actually something on the camera screen.
Yeah, well, that's you on the camera, brother.
You have anything else you want to talk about? I'm gonna.
Oh man,
Alright.
yeah. You almost made me cry there, dude. You really got me.
Well, I'll get you next time.
No, see.
We don't see. All right. Thank you for watching. Another episode of Never Had a Bad Day coming soon. We love y'all. Thanks for coming on, bro. Peace.